Hello, everyone. My name is Amish Gandhi, and I'm the founder and principal engineer at DropSecure. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, how at DropSecure we use end-to-end encryption with zero knowledge to make sure that your data is safe, private, and protected at all times. So let's take an example. If Alice wants to send something to Bob, which could be her financial history for loan approval or her medical records to an insurance company, or any other sensitive data that she may want to share with Bob. Now, only Bob as an intended recipient should have access to this data and nobody else. So at DropSecure, we have made sure that even we don't have access to the data that is sent by Alice, even though we store the data on our cloud servers, only Bob or her intended recipients would be able to access this data. Now, let's see how we make it happen. So first and foremost, we use very complex security and end-to-end encryption under the hood. But our users do not need to understand or need to know any know-how how that encryption works. That is where we have combined the simplicity of use along with the strongest security possible to make sure that our users can use our platform without getting bogged down with the complexities of end-to-end encryption. Right? So when Alice is sending her files and messages to Bob, the first thing that happens is that data is encrypted with AES 256 encryption on her device. And so device could be a laptop, mobile, or desktop. At DropSecure, we have made sure that no plugins are needed, and because it should be very simple to send your sensitive data to somebody else without downloading any special apps or plugins. So when Alice is sending the information to Bob's, the first encryption happens on her device, and then the encrypted data is sent via SSL to the DropSecure servers. Right? So there's two layers of encryption happening here, which is first the data is already encrypted with AES-256, and there's a second layer of encryption using SSL. Now, SSL gets terminated as soon as the data reaches the DropSecure servers. Now here, even though SSL is terminated, the data is still encrypted with AES-256, and the keys are never stored on our servers. They're actually never sent to us. Now, this is where DropSecure is different from existing cloud service providers. Most of them, or actually all of them, would, when the SSL is terminated, they would have access to Alice's data in clear text, meaning they could see her financial history, her medical history, or whatever else she's sending on their servers. And if anybody else would have access to those servers, they would also have access to this information, which is where we want to make sure that nobody else can have access to the data, but just your recipients. Now, the data is stored here in encrypted fashion. The keys are never stored here. When Bob wants to access this information, he would go to a DropSecure platform and request the data. Now, the data again travels, which is through the SSL tunnel. And when SSL is terminated, the encrypted data reaches Bob's mobile device. Now here, because this data is encrypted, how would Bob decrypt this information? And to keep it simple for this video, what happens is we use multiple layers of key encryption to make sure that only Bob can decrypt this information. So there's this, once Bob logs in, there's a key generated on this device that only belongs to Bob. And because the data was sent to Bob, only his private key would be able to decrypt this encrypted data here. And here the decryption also happens right here on the mobile, not on our servers, as it happens with the other cloud service providers. So all the decryption happens here. And this is where then Bob can look at the information. And if he wants to, he can reply it back to Alice if he needs any more information, which again follows the same process of encryption on the device, storing the encrypted data on the cloud, and then decryption on the recipient's device. So this is where we make sure that the data that stays on our servers is always encrypted and the keys are never stored on our servers. And we have a lot more other controls to make sure that the data doesn't proliferate and the data can get deleted once it's read. All of that we have put in place to make sure that your data is never leaked. So for any questions, you can reach us. I'll be happy to go over more details if needed. And thank you very much for listening.